Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to
What
episode.
was
Just joking. No, I'm tweeting, telling everybody we're going live, or I guess Xing. Is Xing? Zying?
it's definitely not Jackson for sure. It ain't.
Uh,
Relax,
we out here. What's up, y'all? Club going up on a Tuesday. Um, Norwood is back. If you will probably get this before the episode that comes out on Thursday. Episode comes out on Thursday. As I told you before, I recorded that myself because Norwood had some matters to attend to, but he is back, so he wanted to
life,
get his opinions off.
and things
Uh,
happen in the couple moments that you go do something and come back. People get fired. Surprisingly,
yeah, yeah. So we're basically just gonna talk about the Hawks and the Falcons. Falcons draft coming up Friday. Hawks season ended last Friday, so
that's kind of how life goes around here. One sun
uh
sets, then you see a sunrise, but never can we have sun at the same time.
unless you're a flat earther, because then the moon is the second sun.
Yo,
But
we have to
there's that.
stop these people from. But see, that's the reason I don't. What? Why is it so many of y'all? What were you doing in class when everybody else is learning about the tide or any of the number of things that you would need to understand, like time? Um, I don't know what's going on, but you flat earthers are the worst. And I think that Landry feels probably thinks that the Atlanta Hawks are the worst.
So we'll get started, man. We gonna, as you see, Norwood is gonna start us off with the Hawks. Uh,
Get into the foolishness.
Landry Fields and has been let go, relieved of his duties, if you will. The Hawks put out a statement, um, where they have announced that the president of basketball that they will be on the search for the president of basketball operations and have hired Sportsology Group, which is basically a consulting firm, the HR, if you will, and they will help them look for a new president of basketball operations. And they relieved Landry Fields of his duties, promoting Ansi Sala to general manager of the Hawks. Um, how you feel about that, brother? I kind of talked about it a little bit yesterday, but I'm interested to see how you feel about it.
Is we don't have a plan, clearly. We don't care about having a plan. We don't care about not looking crazy. We don't care about anything. We don't care about ourselves more than anything. First part, we fire Landry Fields,
Check
who
your
I
mic.
think who I think has done well enough. So again, we have to care about ourselves. We have to care about ourselves way, way more. We fire Landry Fields to hire the assistant GM from the Warriors. You know who we had before we had Landry Fields? The assistant GM from the Warriors. He
This is
built the
why I didn't
team
say this yesterday, because I knew this was gonna
that
piss
took
you off.
you to the Eastern Conference Finals. Then you fired him. Then you got this new guy. Wait for the new guy to clean the whole situation up after you ruined it. And then you fire him and go get.
The same guy, essentially.
I told you. They run this team like a 2K team, not like an organization, not like a business. I don't know what to say. I will dare say my 2K team is run much more efficiently than this. And what do we don't I can't even begin to contain my emotions about just not being able to put anything together. And then we consistently do this and then look stupid and wonder why nobody wants to come to Atlanta and be a free agent.
I am gonna present this argument to you. Yesterday, I just said we're mid, and we cheap, which we know.
We love to be mid. We want to be right in the meridian. Whatever the middle is, we want to be right there.
I think this could be, and if you got to be a Hawks fan or you kind of got to pay attention. This is we fucked up move. We shouldn't have fired Schlink, and so we're gonna go try to get somebody that came from that ilk or that tree, allegedly, and that hopefully we can strike gold again.
Bob Myers is not there anymore. That tree is dead. That tree has its own issues. Yes.
Does it?
Yes.
They in the playoffs and up 1-0 on the number 2 seed. I don't know if they win that, but they
are a championship or bust, and they are not going to look at a championship.
I mean, as you said, that's a lot of teams, though.
Right.
The median, as Sneaky said.
Yeah, but I ain't got it, man. This team frustrates me to no point because he at least had gotten to the point where things were straight. He had cleaned up the books. We don't have any bad contracts. We have a couple good contracts. We can sign some guys to fill out our bench for reasonable amounts of money, and we have 2 draft picks. Why wait for him to? I don't know, man.
I don't think this was,
and it's gonna be Elton Brand. Well, they already told us.
That's who we about to sign.
That's what they're
the new GM.
No.
Nope.
The GM,
the president of basketball operations. I mean,
yes.
Mr. Process. Ain't he the one to do the process?
Yep.
I don't like that. And I don't no shade.
It's like Groundhog's Day, but basketball.
Was Elton Brand president in
I'm pretty sure
Philly, or was he GM?
I think that neither one of those guys.
He was not GM. Wasn't old boy GM? He's a liar, and I'll never. David Morey. Wasn't he GM?
Maybe.
Because James Harden said, "Yo, I'll never."
A lot of
Morey when it got him from Houston, or Brooklyn. I'm sorry. So I think they did Landry Fields wrong. I hate it because, and we were talking about this earlier on the phone. He cleaned up a lot of mess that the front office, and when I say front office, the president, possibly Trey, depending on how you feel about stars making decisions. They cleaned up a lot of mess.
Ran Schlink off those.
The DeJounte Murray debacle, he cleaned up. He cleaned up the the John Collins, letting him go for basically nothing. You replaced him. You drafted pretty well. I think the only miss you really had was Kobe Buffkin, and that's just because he's been hurt. Muhammad Gay is not a miss. Zachary Riche is damn sure not a miss.
Is a win. Riche is the best of what really could have been a bad situation. I mean,
and then you got Dyson Daniel, who is a defensive player of the year finalist in year 1. So, I mean, and for some odd reason, you traded for Karis LeVert, which turned out to be pretty well. You got off the books of Bogey and Hunter. You have a lot of flexibility to build out this roster. And forget, Larry Nance Jr., while he isn't the greatest, he was a very good role player for us, and he got hurt. And we lost Jalen Johnson. So you did all of these things. You signed Jalen Johnson. Oh, go ahead. And you lose Clint. But I mean, with Clint had wires.
That's at least some of the reason we weren't capable at the end is the whole front court went down. I mean, if it really comes down to it, it was that one time with, I hate to put it on one group, but that Niang Don Barlow, we never recovered from. That 5-minute span ended the season for us. And in any other iteration,
Minivan took the game-winning shot too, or tried to take the game.
He got us back. I don't love that because you got to know your station in life. You got to know your station in life. One thing about life for sure, you need to know exactly. You need to be situationally aware of your station. And George Niang boy, you was out of control, big dog. But
He been doing it all year. His confidence been growing, and he been adding
I
to the
think
arsenal.
he got lucky because it ended up not being him that lost the game. But at the same time, he's been a plus. Him and Terrence Mann, they've all been pluses, I think.
Terrence Mann was disappointing to me. I expected more of an impact from Terrence Mann. But I also feel like he wasn't put in the best position to succeed. They tried to, when he first got here, they tried to give him the Veet role and make him the backup kind of like ball handler, point guard guy. Right. And that's not really who he needs to be
at all.
To me, for what Landry Fields did with the front office, the biggest miss that I can see is Quinn Snyder. Quinn Snyder has been nothing but disappointing this year. And I think just like we talked about Terry Fontenot, but he ended up pulling the plug on Arthur Smith. We said if you hit your wagon to a to a coach that doesn't succeed, then you're going to get fired. Quinn Snyder has been ass since he's been here.
Nobody wants to say that.
His rotations haven't made sense because he gets bailed out because of injuries. But his rotations have never made sense. V. Creechy shoots 40% this year from three. Didn't see the court against Orlando.
That's so frustrating, especially when you're playing against guys who have big guards and your little guard is struggling. I don't know. But his development has been solid.
I will say that. Yeah, he has a good development staff. None of our players have regressed. No, you can say that. Not one player has regressed. Nobody has regressed.
You could say whatever it is, even Trey. Trey's better. He's been a better adult.
Leads the league in assists.
But what I'm saying is he's also done the least amount of Trae Young shooting that he's done in any season. Okongwu has made leaps and bounds. Jalen Johnson was looking like himself again, which is 2010 and 5. Risacher looked like an adult the entire season, and they took Dyson from being like a guy who's probably at the end of the bench to basically a household name.
Yeah, so maybe that's what saves Quinn is the development piece. But
you developed everything. Now you gotta.
And that's kind of opposite from what they had with Nate, right? Nate didn't develop nothing. He just said,
just get it to go to home. That's all you can do here, big dog.
But Nate had us playing defense though, and we've got to figure out a way to improve the defense without shaking up really the top 6.
Well, we've already, as soon as we made those moves, the defense changed. You hope that putting Jalen Johnson back in that time instead of hopefully George Niang, the defense does a little bit better. I don't think that we'll ever go back to what we were because of what we have now, but I think we could get a little bit more shooting so we're not always so offense deficient if Trey isn't on the floor.
Well, that's where Buffkin was supposed to play. Y'all see my little balloon over there, Shannon. I told you about George Niang. He's great at shooting. They was cooking him.
But Paolo, that's Quinn's fault. You cannot put him out there with Don Barlow. And Don Barlow might need to go back to the G League. His offense is okay, but that defense is deplorable, my boy. And
when else were you gonna put George Niang out there?
You could play. You have play Gay at the 5.
They did.
Yeah. But what I'm saying is the Don Barlow, George Niang, that experiment needs to never happen again. None of us want to see that. That's not good for anybody unless you're just throwing the game. That's the only way I could imagine you ever put that rotation together again.
Yeah. Very rarely do you see a GM get fired and the coach and the star player stay. I don't know. It doesn't look like they're going to fire Quinn because normally when you relieve the GM of his duties, you get rid of the coach because the new GM is going to want a new coach. But the way that they've kind of set it up, the new GM has been in the organization for a year or two.
They've been really nice to Quinn. The amount of skill that Quinn has, I don't think is earned. Because it's not just injuries. It's you have bad rotations. Like terrible rotations.
The rotations are bad, but he gets a pass. He gets a pass on everything because of the injuries. The rotations are bad because of the injuries. He basically had 18 months of no Bogey. Like Bogey's knee fell off for the last year and a half, 2 years. DeAndre Hunter had his best year, and you capitalize.
Even there are better rotations you can play with what you have. And you're telling me that just because somebody gets injured means I have to go to making bad decisions. Those two things can't compute in my brain. No way.
Capella, Larry Nance, Jalen Johnson.
Yes.
All out.
You
could have still Okongwu, Don Barlow, Mo Gay,
Niang, and Ricochet.
Sure. Okay.
You can have any other iteration other than Niang and Barlow. It's the only one you can't have.
I'm just saying, I don't know if that makes a difference.
Oh, that is where, yes, 100%. That's where we lost. I think we went -11, and we just never recovered from that. It was that rotation. And we've seen all year that when the entire time that he's run that, it's never worked. Not one time.
Are we getting rid of Trey?
To be continued.
What? So you don't know?
I think that it could go either way at this point. I think that it depends on how John Memphis do. If they get whooped again like this, and God forbid they get whooped like this 3 or 4 times, yeah, I think that the guns and the grenades and the bombs and all of that, they might be at least willing to play ball. You can't be a headache and then get whooped by. They lost by 50.
So trade for Ja is what you trying to say?
My preference would be Josh Giddey and Lonzo Ball for Trey.
Yeah, you said that for now 4 weeks in a row.
Yes, and I'm going to say it because it's a power and it's a power in the tongue. You got to say it first in order for it to happen. You must know that. But yes, in an alternative universe, given the opportunity, give me Ja Morant and you can have Trey Young. Both of us save money too, because we don't have to supermax them.
Yeah. And maybe that'll allow you to go get another center or draft pick or something. But yeah, I don't know what the Hawks are doing.
We got to get out of this fever dream. We've been there too long. And every year is, hey, man, this is our centerpiece. Remodel around it. And the house doesn't ever look any different.
I feel like we shot our load too early in getting rid of Landry Fields. I'm not gonna say that. I just don't understand the logic. I don't see the logic in doing that. You let him build to the point of where you are now expecting fruits of your labor, right?
Right.
You have made the trades, you built draft picks, you get everybody, and then boom, he's out of there.
Well, weirdly enough, it also, I think, moves us into the time of expectation. If you're going to be 500, they're going to fire you is what I think they're trying to say.
If you're not going to spend no money, we're going to be 500. Like, bruh, come on, bruh. The rest of their family, to me, has no legs to stand on when it comes to enforcing anything. And that's the one thing
that even I say that Trey has in his back pocket that he can always say is, you're not willing to go into the luxury tax. Why do you expect me as a player without going into the luxury tax to be able to put together a team? The teams that are good and competitive are paying the tax. And you won't pay it. You want a beautiful woman and be broke, son. You got to have one.
You're and maybe they trying to make Trey to be Steph and try to make Jalen to be Draymond and then just fill in the pieces everywhere else and make But the thing is,
bro, we are not the Warriors, and don't think that that's what it's going to be because Trey ain't never going to give up the ball that much.
Trey ain't gonna play the ball off the ball, but he should against Jalen.
We've been talking about he should since Summer League. What year? This 2025, at least 2021, 2022. Oh, he's going to play off the ball this year. It's going to be different. And it has been a little different, but not to what it ain't Golden State.
No. I mean, nobody's going to be. I don't think we'll see that for a long time. But
right, that's the reason I hate when people bring it up because I'll be like, oh, ooh, Memphis getting whooped again. 107-86. Well, they stump y'all out good. They let y'all know y'all are not it. Yeah. John might be available.
But I mean, I'm interested to see what we're gonna do. A new GM or a new president of basketball operations. That's also my last point. I didn't know that they had it combined.
Yeah, well, it was a quick transfer of power where it went boop boop and then he went right up. It's one of them emails.
It's that, so they combined it and now they're gonna separate it, which is like what most organizations do. Normally, honestly, the owner is the president versus the GM.
And it was kind of weird how he went from GM and then they just immediately kind of said up and now president. Like it was a quick thing. And then to go from 1 to 2 to none. I don't know what
just like the Suns. We everything we do doesn't make sense. Same thing.
And cheap. That's the thing. Cheap. But just like in everything else, when it comes to Atlanta Hawks, we will continue to keep you abreast. We don't know what they're doing. They're wilding out.
Everybody say a prayer that Edwards comes to Atlanta and misses home and comes here.
Yo, Reggie did the holy man. I didn't know what the hell that was.
Say a prayer, dog. We need help in Atlanta. It's been a rough week.
Oh man, Braves let them tie it up again, but they playing a little bit better. Also, we go here. It's almost draft time. How you feeling?
Ran my mock drafts yesterday. I ran all the scenarios. Y'all know.
Are you excited?
No. Here's why. Fool me once, shame on me. I mean, shame on you. Fool me twice. I'm sorry. Fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice. No, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me.
George Bush.
Fool me 3 times, can't get fooled again. We were supposed to get Jalen Carter. We were supposed to get Jalen Carter. I don't know who we were supposed to draft last year, but we were supposed to draft somebody, and we ended up with Michael Penix. Not saying that that's a bad pick now in hindsight, but still, got my hopes up, got it down.
Oh, was Kyle Hamilton, then Jalen Carter last year? I actually think they made the right decision because that's what. Yeah,
but that's not who we were supposed. That's not who we were.
Oh no, we were supposed
that
to
was
get
not linked
Jared
to
Verse. Jared Verse.
We were supposed to get. We have been saying we were going to get defensive line help for 5 years, and we have not. So, am I excited? No. Am I looking forward to it? Yes. But I refuse to get my hopes up that we gonna make a good decision and that y'all not gonna okie-doke me and I'm gonna get up here and be upset. I'm not gonna do it. So no, I'm not excited.
And I will say, even out of the decisions they made in the past, they haven't been bad decisions, just different decisions. Like, I don't think I regret any of those.
I like you, Bijan. I truly do. We had Algier, who was a 1,000-yard rusher.
Right.
And we passed on Jalen Carter to keep Grady Jarrett, who then we let go.
Now, if that ain't the most Atlanta you can do, boy.
So, do I have any regrets?
And Grady left so like a true gentleman.
I cussed y'all out because you got to come home. That's where you from, man.
Right.
You got to come back. But I, bruh, I don't think I regret. I regret the Kyle Hamilton. Actually, I do. Yeah, we do. Kyle Pitts. We regret that pick.
Oh no, for sure. That one. But I don't really regret.
Who went number
Drake.
5 in that draft? Real quick, who went number 5?
Oh, everybody else. No.
Kyle Pitts was 4, right?
No. We're not doing that. We're not doing that. I do not want to have a night. I do not want to have a nightmare tonight. No, I'm not allowing you to do that. And I know you're trying to. Protect your mental health and peace ferociously. And that's the reason I'm not letting Reggie do that to me. But I'm mostly okay with the Drake London pick. I'm mostly okay with the Bijan Robinson pick. I'm very now okay with the Michael Penix pick. It ain't perfect, but I don't have a what are you doing yet? Like, are you tripping? See, why would you do that? I asked y'all not to do that. I didn't want that, and I knew that. I knew that. I understood that.
Jamar Chase went right. I mean, everybody went after that, but Jamar Chase, and I was like, bruh. But we wouldn't have had Drake London, but that's fine. Either way. Just wanted to piss you off. But what were you saying? You muted yourself. Well, you need a new cord.
My cord tripped out on me. Shoot, dude.
Microphone not recognizing.
My cord.
You're good. You good.
But I think we go with Mike Green from Marshall. Funny enough, coached by Coach Huff, Hampton alum. I like this pick. I think it's the safest pick. I think
edge. I mean, edge is you gotta go edge.
I feel like if you make this pick and it doesn't work, I don't hate you for this pick. But I would like for you to get it right. I really would like for you to get it right because it's like 4 guys who are available.
Every mock draft I've run, if we get Mike Green here, I wouldn't be mad, but I wouldn't be happy because every mock draft I keep running, especially with the way that Shedeur Sanders is sliding. Michael Williams is there. Jalen Walker, ironically, goes early. He goes like 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. He goes right in there. But Michael Williams is there. Mike Green is there. Will Johnson.
That's I don't think there's a world where he's there.
No. Nick Eamon, we could trade down. I would love for us honestly to trade down. But I just know that's not our MO. We've had what? I've been alive. We've had like 10 GMs, maybe 5 or 10 GMs since I've been alive, but we've never traded down. We never, ever trade down.
The only reason I don't want to trade down is because this first pick, we need it. We either need you to get Will Johnson and him and AJ Terrell be just monsters, or we need you to draft Mike Green and him be legit. We need one of those to hit. Just for everything
I've seen a couple places where we get Jahdae Barron. I like him. He is the DB that you see now on most defenses. He's like a rover. He can play outside corner. He can play nickelback. He can play safety. He can play strong safety. He can play dime. He's everywhere.
We got Bates. I would just rather have
any of our corners behind.
That's what that to me is way AJ more important. I need you to be just a legit, because I would like to put Clark Phillips in the slot. I think that would be great. And I would like for us to just have, if Will Johnson's there, take Will Johnson and just try to find you an edge. I know it's punting.
There's so many edge rushers. There's so many edge rushers that I think that you would be able. This feels like a draft that feels like NBA low key. The first 15 picks are lotto picks, and the next most GMs have second round grades on. I disagree.
Yeah, I disagree too. Because I think that in the second half it's gonna be some guys there. You just got to make sure you get your guy.
Interesting take, Sneaky. Jahdae Barron is better than Will Johnson. I don't know, man. Will Johnson 6'2".
Right.
And he shut down. He looked the closest thing to Charles Woodson at Michigan that I've seen since Charles Woodson.
Yeah. Once again, just pick the guys who I've picked that I've been in love with have been successful. So I'm not believing in myself going forward. I was right.
So
I
you
was
would
right
rather
about.
so if you were the GM, you would pick Mike Green here.
No. Will Johnson, numero uno, if available. If not, then I'm probably going Mike Green. I'm the same guy.
Michael Williams. I like the Michael Williams pick here. It's just that Michael Williams is a little bit of a project like Trayvon Walker was for Jacksonville, where they were kind of calling him, a bust because one, Aiden Hutchinson just was just absolutely crazy. But two, it took him like 2 years to get right. And now in the last 2 years, he's had 11 and 13 sacks or something like that. He's had 10 plus sacks the last 2 years on that defense where they rotate everybody.
But if I remember correctly, Mike Green led college football in sacks last year. If I need sacks and you go get the sack leader, I feel like you're trying.
Yeah. You notice we've fallen off the Shamar pick from Texas A&M?
All of the rest of those guys, they fly up and down the draft board depending on which draft you look at.
Yeah, he's because he's only got one sack. And we always tend to try to take a flyer on a guy. We can make him better. We don't have time.
I want Mike Green is he's less of a he's the most the most accomplished
pass rusher.
Yeah, I mean, I guess he probably is.
I mean, when you say accomplishments, you mean just leading the league in sacks?
Yeah, like for what we're looking for specifically.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. He hopefully all the other D linemen that we have on because we're kind of deep at D line. Low key is just we're unproven. We have the whole rookie class that came back is coming back from being hurt.
But they're not bad. They're just not. The pass rush.
We don't know what they are. Braylon Trice didn't play. Brandon Dorless didn't play. Rucororo played the last 2 games. We don't know what we have in the Zach Harrison, Tyquan Graham. We don't really know everything that we have with them. We got rid of everybody in front of them now, and y'all got to figure it out. But I also wouldn't be surprised if we went D-tackle in the first round. Would not be surprised.
I do not love that.
It's too many players that'll be back. Would you get Pierce? What about so here's the thing, Sneaky. Pierce reminds me of Vic Beasley. We got one really good year out of Vic Beasley. He was undersized coming out of Clemson. I think he was 230.
Don't trick yourself out of this. Take Mike Green. Go home safe.
I think Mike Green is like 250, 260. So he's going to be able to at least hold the point. If Vic Beasley wasn't getting to the quarterback, he was pouting and being frustrated, and he would disappear. The same scouting report that you saw for Vic Beasley, you see for James Pierce. Great get off, elite athlete, kind of undersized. When I say undersized, he's like 240, 230 at 6'5". Tends to get lost, not great against the run, depending on his mood. So if Pierce is there and nobody else is there, sure, why not? But if that's what I got to take, then I'm probably just going to trade down.
It's not a draft where Pierce is there and nobody else is there.
No, Pierce is falling all the way to like the end of the first round. Ironically, they have him going to the Eagles to replace Josh Sweat.
Why not? I mean,
why not? Or Malachi Starks from Georgia.
It's also yeah. That's for sure. For sure. It's certain places where you just go and things are going to work out too. And I hate that. It's like Baltimore. If you're a defensive player, you get picked by Baltimore.
They talking about getting Jahad Campbell from Alabama, which would be absolutely insane with Roquan Smith. You can just cancel any type of anything you think you're going to do in that front seven when they add them two together.
as bad as they are at picking receivers, that is how good they are at picking elite defensive players. Just knock it out of the park every time. I told y'all Kyle Hamilton was going to be a killer. I said, yeah,
I think we all knew it. We all knew it. My bad. I didn't mean to click off of that. Second round pick. I don't see us, if we stick with these 5 picks, which I can't see us doing. Oh, let me ask you a question. They're talking about expecting a draft day trade for the Falcons. Kirk Cousins has shown up to voluntary minicamp, which was befuddling.
Why? He looking like, hey, what y'all need? Kirk is smart. Y'all need to be a team player so we can get on to wherever we need to. Let's look like we're in lockstep and helping get me out of here.
I think they have a play in place already.
Yeah.
I think they already know where he's going to go. I think Cleveland, I don't think that's smoke and mirrors. I think he's going to Cleveland. I think Cleveland is going to give us a 5th round pick or something like that. What I think is the holdup is the $20 to $25 million that we want you to pay. I think the negotiation is going to go on between the $25 million
for that, didn't they? Didn't they restructure so they can have some money, Cleveland?
They restructured Deshaun Watson.
And somebody else, if I remember correctly.
Myles Garrett. Nope, they just signed. But they signed Myles Garrett. He's the highest paid defensive player in the league.
But that don't kick in this year.
Yeah, I mean, no. It kicks in the year after this year.
Right. So, no, I think they did restructure to make some money. I guess you probably don't tell Watson that I need you to restructure so I can pay your replacement.
That is absolutely disgusting. If you have Deshaun Watson and Kirk Cousins on the same team, all the jokes, Tremaine, I've sat on them because you've decided Ohio
what
State
jokes
won.
You got for Kirk?
Man, you got left Achilles, right Achilles hurt out there. You got Nasty Man and Preacher Man. You got masseuse and Target. You got you
Pause. Yo.
Clash of that's the Florida Gators 2008.
No,
that's the Florida Gators 2008 locker room. You had the Mormon and the criminals all on one team.
I would say, I mean, I want to get rid of Kirk. So yeah, if y'all, I would really appreciate if y'all paid that. That would really help us out a lot.
Yeah. I agree. In the comments, they said if we eat the salary, then we got to probably at least afford. That's what I was about to say. I think as much salary as we're gonna, if you take on more salary, then
you can drop that
pick. It'll be 7th round. You take on 45.
Get low on them. Get low on.
But what I think this is the Falcons are essentially buying a pick. So if you want $30 million for us to pay and you need Kirk, well, then it's going to cost you now.
It sounds like multi-level marketing. Well, you want a 2nd rounder, it's going to cost you $40 million. You want a 3rd rounder, it's going to cost you $30 million. Yeah, I mean, we do. We are the colluders and the connivers. We're going to do whatever it takes to get our players. I mean, yeah, do us a solid, bro, and take the salary too. That would really do it. That'd be great. We could really.
Now you take the whole salary. We'll give you you want a 7th round pick? We'll give you a pick. You do that,
right?
Shoot, that's a win.
You get both of them 7 rounders. To be honest,
yeah. I'll never draft. When we go mock draft, I'll be like, sure. I
don't care, bruh.
Well, no, I've drafted Tyrion, Ingram, Dawkins, and then an HBCU player. Those are always my two.
Hey, respect. But let me tell you, if that's what it takes to get Kirk off the books,
We're undrafted free agents. You come on over.
Right. Shiloh, keep your phone on.
Yeah. So right now, our draft day primer, like we said before, we have the 15th, 46th pick. We just talked about the 15th pick, what we do. That 46th pick and that 118, we basically have For our team needs, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5 immediate team needs in position players. We need an edge rusher. We need a cornerback. We need another safety, unless we're gonna roll out there with Helms. We need a defensive tackle now.
My boy Helms,
and we need it.
Bama.
Yeah, towards Achilles though.
Yep.
And then we also we roll out there. Remember, we lost Drew Dahlman. We out there with Ryan Newsel, who is the undrafted rookie free agent that we signed, who started 4 games last year. That's who we rolling out with. So that's 5 players. We have in the first 4 rounds, we have 3 picks. We have 5 picks total. That's why I keep saying, if we're going to have to do this, we either have to make a play or we have to trade down. We either got to sign somebody in free agency or we got to trade down.
There's still a lot of guys who are good, who are free agents.
Yes. Jalen Ramsey, he's not a free agent.
No, but he's available-ish. Let's see here. Zadarius Smith
Miami.
Still available, right?
He's 102, ain't he?
I do not care. I mean, that's what we've done for this.
That's where we are.
Right. We do that every time. What's different now? Why are we suddenly gonna be like, oh no, If he's available and he want to do it everybody else here in Atlanta, then yeah, come on down here, bro. We trying to make it happen. Be very nice of you.
So that's it. Zadarius Smith and
I mean, I don't know how like Asante Samuel and Amari Cooper still available.
Asante Samuel Jr., I brought that up a couple weeks ago and I said we should sign him. It's just that he had injury history. So he's had a shoulder and a neck injury over the last 2 years.
What do we know? We know that at least 2 old players gonna come to Atlanta to end their career. Gilmore, you think this is the last stop? Come on to Atlanta.
Oh man. I mean, sure. You could get a Gilmore or a Ramsey, somebody that is either at on the other side of the hill, because you could play them strictly as an outside corner because we just signed all the nickelbacks we could have. And Mike Hughes, D. Alford, and oh boy. Stephon Gilmore visited Dallas again today. Sure, Dallas, do your thing.
That's a very Dallas-y move.
Yeah, whatever. Sure. Wasn't he there before? Yeah, do your thing.
Kaiser White still available. Rasul Douglas still available. Elijah Moore still available. Brandon Sheriff still available. Keenan Allen still available. I wouldn't mind taking one of these older receivers. I don't know where they would fit, but you know me. I just
where you'd have to get rid of Ray or deem Ray straight special teams. And Ray's valuation for what his production was last year was $13 million, and we paid him 2.
Right. I mean, you're right, but I just you fall in love with the name. You're like, boy, Amari Cooper in this offense would be
a great route runner, and then you could put Mooney in the slot, but Amari Cooper don't catch the ball though. That's why he a free agent.
Justin Simmons still available?
I can see him coming back.
Right. I think so too. So question. Nick Chubb still available. What you think?
Rumor mill has it that Algier is probably on the trading block, which he should be. Why the hell not? Hell yeah. Nick Chubb as the number 2 back? Why the hell not? He done tore it. That whole knee is bionic by now. He ain't gonna break it no more. So like he's still Nick Chubb. He's still putting out squatting videos and squatting 600 and something pounds and doing all of the things.
Right there. Why not?
Yeah, why not, bro? Like hell, we ain't got nobody. I mean, if you're not gonna keep Algier, which means you got to re-sign him, that's another play that we need draft capital. We need draft capital. And if you need draft capital, again, 5 picks. If you can trade Algier for a 3rd after drafting him in the 5th,
it's a win. Surely a win.
And you could pick up a back. I mean, hell, Bijan is at this point, he's in his 3rd year now, right? Bijan 3rd year, right?
Yep.
Hey, you want the contract, right? Hey, you got to be a 3-down contract for the 3-down backs.
I'm okay with trading Algier and then I'm telling you, drafting Scatterboo, 100% willing to do it.
I'm not.
Or
I'd
that
rather double
kid,
down that edge.
the
I ain't drafting
kid.
nobody.
I don't know if Anthony, if Hamilton will be, or not, excuse me, not Hamilton. Hampton will be there in the third round. The kid from UNC. There's some running backs still there in the third round too.
Yeah, that's running backs are designated to about second, third, fourth round. Kid that transferred to Virginia Tech from A&T that runs a 4.28. You could add him and just, hey, you just go be fast. We'll figure it out.
Right. That's all hey, and that's 70% of it, especially with this team. They're gonna tell you run that right there, son. If you do that,
but in all honesty, if I trade Algier, I would need a third round pick. What do you say? No way in hell Hampton makes it past 44. Who's Hampton? Oh, from UNC?
UNC.
Yeah. In all actuality, if you're gonna trade a third and get an Algier, I would much rather use it on a right tackle. I just don't want to use our first round pick on a right tackle. But you went from having Jake Matthews, franchise stalwart, Ring of Honor guy, maybe Hall of Fame guy, I don't know, Iron Man for sure, on the left side protecting the blind spot, to now Caleb McGarry protecting the blind spot. And let me tell you who is not Jake Matthews. It is Caleb McGarry. And Caleb McGarry was on his back more than a turtle last year. And I don't see a place where we keep him with Michael Penix Jr., who has been hurt 5 out of the last 6 years. 4 out of the last 6 years. I wouldn't do it. That's the trade. That's the play. If you're going to do it, trade. There's teams that need a right tackle. McGarry's like 32. And he's been mid his whole career.
That boy got whooped.
He got stepped over like Ty Lue.
By your boy from the Steelers. Boy.
TJ Watt.
Yes, thank you, Lord. That was whooping me. But yeah, CJ Watt, masterclass.
They did that the whole year. If you go look, they just took the best pass rusher and we put it on him.
I'm not. TJ Watt did something different to us. That boy.
Yeah. We was out there with Kirk, who at that time really couldn't move.
Was hurt. Was hurt. Kirk, why did you not tell us you were hurt?
Coaches, why couldn't you tell that he was hurt? They said we ran the pistol and we ran the ball 100% of the
zombie.
time. TJ Watt said, we had to read nothing. They showed that replay, and now we kind of just podding a little bit. They showed that replay of that game, and they said, the Steelers defense looks amazing. And somebody said, the defense looks amazing, but they don't move at the snap. They just stand there.
Watt looked like Bruce Smith on Tecmo Bowl. Unstoppable. It was
Reggie
just like every time, nonstop, embarrassingly. And it's tough to watch. And there's no hope for the quarterback, especially because he can't move. Boy, what he did to us last year.
Yeah, I would think you better show up to voluntary minicamp.
And then told everybody you were hurt. Why did you say that? You should have took that to your grave.
Let's look at the Falcons draft predictions. Tuesday takes. This is today. This is from the Falcoholic, which is known as the number one affiliated Falcon site. They got us now taking Shamar Stewart.
Take Mike Green. Even though I see Ted McMillan dropping, I'm also like, I just can't.
Ted McMillan talking his way out the first round.
He talking himself into Dallas is what I think.
That's not bad.
No,
Ted McMillan with Dallas is not bad with CeeDee Lamb because now you become the receiver that they need you to be. Contested catches and move the chains guy. And now they can go and get a corner, a tight end, a tackle, offensive line. Never mind, defense line, defense help. Now, Jerry, so we hear Jerry said that, hey, we got 2 plays on draft night that's about to happen. I wonder what that is.
Said to Dallas, he will get paid at Dallas. 100%. If you're really looking for a place to make sure that you get paid, I 100% know that he will get paid at Dallas.
If you're Cleveland, do you trade the number 15 pick for Dak Prescott? You have the number 2. You're not in love with Shador. Dak is still only what, 30?
Oh, so you gonna do both?
No. At 2, I'm assuming that you're gonna. It's from what I've read. At 2, they get either Abdul Carter or Travis Hunter.
Let me tell y'all this, and I mean this from the bottom of my soul. If you draft anybody other than Abdul Carter, unless you're taking Cam Ward, you're going to regret that. I'm going to come back and say, "Hey, bro, I told you."
We'll be good segue to a tangent. We'll be here probably. I'll be on the road. I'll be out of town, but I'm gonna carry my computer. We may end up potting to react to the Falcons first round pick on Friday. But yes, back to Cleveland. There's everything that I've seen is the Giants are prepared to draft Abdul Carter, and they're actually talking about swapping picks to draft Abdul Carter and then trade Kayvon Thibodeau because they had Brian Burns, and they would add Abdul Carter, and then that resets the timeline, and they don't have to pay Kayvon Thibodeau, who is about to get paid whatever he thinks he's going to get paid. He's due for a contract extension. So him going to Cleveland, and then them getting the third pick, and then getting other stuff plus that.
Yeah, what else you giving me, New York? I need to know that. I can't. It's got to be something. The juice got to be worth the squeeze, and the juice has to be worth. I know how good Kayvon Thibodeau is, and it's good, but I think the Abdul Carter could be elite.
Well, I mean, I don't have to. I was just telling you that they're discussing. I'm Cleveland. I hold the cards. I'm in number two spot.
I think that Cleveland be smart and just get Abdul Carter and just make the simple, right decision. Don't waste no time on it. Make the right decision. The only way you don't draft Abdul Carter is if he goes first.
Which is not happening. It is Cam Ward has basically told y'all multiple times that he's going to Tennessee. And Tennessee's like, hey, Will Levis is on the trading block. Right. Just want to let y'all know.
Just in case you're interested. Do you like? Can I interest you into some mayo?
So that's pretty much a lock. And as I said yesterday on all the mock drafts I've run, he is the number 1 pick, and Shador slides. And let me tell you, if Shador makes it past 10 and nobody trades up to get him, which I don't know who would trade up to get him, he may be a second round pick.
So my thing is,
what if Cleveland gets Abdul Carter and Shador?
I pray Shador does not ever have any business dealings with the Cleveland Browns. You ain't going to be the one that's different. Hate to say it that way, but you see how many quarterbacks they've run through. Do not put yourself in that situation. I honestly say I will go, don't draft me. I'm not going to Cleveland.
I think that's been said. I think that's been said quietly as kept.
I think there's no way that I don't. If I'm beyond, respectfully, just don't draft my son. If I'm Shador, I'm not going. You have to trick somebody else into taking this job, not me. I've seen the list of the guys who had it before. All of them. The worst thing that could have happened to them.
The Raiders, Shador to the Raiders is still a possibility. But they have like 7.
Giants, Steelers. Do not let New York thinks they're smart. They think they're gonna get Arch. They had Eli, now they're gonna have Arch.
Yeah, they are smart. They possibly will get Arch.
But
let me tell you who won't be the coach.
The coach
Brian
and the
Daboll
GM
won't be
right.
Y'all gonna be gone.
You right. You ever made up the bed for somebody else? You finna do.
Let me tell you a person that Goldilocks. Hey, somebody been sleeping in my bed. Yeah,
if Arch
you get out
to New York. They will do everything in their power to run back their glory days. I think that everybody will be dialed in because of the last name Manning. I don't hate that if he goes there at all, but should do it to the Steelers. It will be good. I think he'll get good coaching. I think the issue is Tomlin needs to win a playoff game. I'm not sure if you win a playoff game with Shador in year one in that division.
You don't win a playoff game with no quarterback in this draft year one in that division. There's not one quarterback you could get in this draft. So I'm looking for matter of fact.
Cam Moore could do it with the Browns. Browns got enough. Just quarterback position is bad. It's funny money.
Yeah, possibly.
And you could probably get Nick Chubb back too, probably at a reasonable price.
What was I about to say? Arch. Daboll is gone. Daboll, there's no.
That's the reason that the Giants got to take him is Daboll. If you want a job, then y'all got to get him now. Or, I mean, no, they got Russ. They got Russ.
And Jameis. And then they got.
Oh, you're right. I would actually.
They got the Italian dude.
You still, this is their issue. I guess they are. That's in hindsight. Remembering that they have Russ makes sense. That means Russ is supposed to try to get you through this season to the best of your abilities. I think you still get fired because you're just not going to be better than probably the Eagles or the Cowboys. So you're not going to make the playoffs. So you get fired. And then you go after Arch the next year. So, I mean, if Russ can get it done, then great. If not, then y'all fired. But nobody else gives you. Huh?
Why you think
you said what?
Why you think Russ can get it done?
But Russ is the best option that they got to get it done. What's the other option?
Shador.
I don't think the Shador next season is better than Russ. Future facing, absolutely. But for this very next season, Russ is infinitely better than Shador.
For New York?
Yes.
What does that mean?
No, not for New York, for Brian Daboll. Brian Daboll and New York are on two different timetables at this point.
Why? Same question. What does that mean?
Okay, so Brian Daboll needs to win this very next year in order to try to keep his job.
New York, that roster, it ain't gonna happen, even with Russ.
I understand that, but after that, then you think that you're pairing Malik Neighbors up with Arch Manning, is what I think they think, and that's Eli and OBJ in their head.
That ain't last but 3 years, did it?
Hey, but this is them. I mean, yeah. But trust me,
didn't OBJ get Eli fired?
Let's be very real here. They will be more than happy to have that time back, as bad as they've been lately.
Yeah,
they'd love to be mid again.
No, they wouldn't. No, I don't. The Knicks, them too. The giant New York fans I know, they just want to beat Dallas. Everything else is they'll rebuild until civilization ends.
You could very well beat Dallas. Maybe you will, maybe you won't. Damn, Cardinals kicking the Braves' ass 10-4. We went up 4-3 and they never looked back.
Couple GMs have said gear up for a wild first round because there's so many Now, of course, you're right. This could be smoke and mirrors, but there's so many moving parts and so many. There's more money to be spent, and there's a lot of draft.
And it's vets waiting on things to happen so that they can sign. Because I think that's at least some of it is hey, where does everybody go so Aaron Rodgers can make a decision between the two places? One place? No, I guess it's just the Steelers. If you don't get the Steelers, I don't know where Aaron Rodgers goes. I'm definitely not putting Shador over there with that.
I mean,
Shador, Tomlin, and A-Rod. Oh man, that is
mindfuck.
It's a podcast waiting.
You don't know what to do. Yeah, I'm about to say you don't know what to be. You on ayahuasca, sorry, and then you also like in Black Panther movies with reading about civil rights movement. Like you doing a whole lot of stuff.
Aaron Rodgers say the wrong thing to Shador, Dion gonna be on the podcast.
Dion gonna be in the locker room. Dion gonna be. This is my buddy Mike Tomlin. How far back we go, Coach? How far back we go?
Shador, skip that. And I feel bad because she's gonna get drafted, and then the decision is gonna be made afterwards.
Man, we gonna do all this. Duncan Shador gonna be right there in Oakland. I mean, Las Vegas. They ain't signed no quarterback yet. Not one.
Well, yes, they do it. Geno.
Oh, you're right. They got Geno. So it's not Las Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, y'all did him dirty. That was where he thought he was going. Now I see why he's how the movement makes sense. Because if you remember, he was going to Las Vegas like 3-4 times.
Right.
While in college.
And
I think that's his comp to me is Geno. To me.
I think I think that's successful though. Geno is a solid NFL quarterback.
Yeah, no, yeah. I think the hype. Well, I hope he doesn't follow the same trajectory because I think Geno was done wrong. But
right, that's the other part. I think that Geno got to a better place earlier, it's even
not more going to the Jets. Just
right, and that's the reason you can't go to the Browns. Is if you go to certain places, I don't really care who you are. It's just going to chew you up and spit you out. And I think that Shador in Cleveland is the worst case scenario. I don't know who can go. I don't know who has the Infinity Stones to go fix Cleveland.
Kirk,
nah,
Cousins,
because even
you
like
can
when
do it.
Flacco got up, like Flacco had him looking like something. But I'm saying, who can be the next quarterback to take over and be their future?
We don't care. I'm speaking strictly to get Kirk off the books. Strictly to get Kirk off the books because they got to win now because you just made all of these promises and handed over the keys to Myles Garrett. So therefore, he can just say, you know what, y'all didn't trade me because y'all didn't do what y'all said y'all were going to do.
He got his money now. And he was like, oh, it's not about the money. I just want to win. Oh, they're gonna pay me a ton of money. This is where I wanted to be my whole life.
I never wanted to leave Cleveland.
I love that.
It's always been about championship.
I love that people just lie to us. Like we don't have our own common sense. And we are supposed to be like, oh, don't know about that. Didn't know that happened.
Yeah, but it is what it is. But he also alluded to he knows who the quarterback is gonna be. If you know who the quarterback is gonna be, and they're out on Shador, allegedly. Now, they may not be out on Shador. Shador may go number 2. But
sometimes they just pay you to say things, Reggie. And I think they paid that man enough to say, what? If they paid me, I would probably say what they told me to say, too. Oh, I know who the quarterback is, too.
Yeah.
For that much? How much is going to take you? On the next episode of Dragon Ball Z.
Y'all see that painting in the back? I ain't never been no step and fetch it. But how much you say?
And what I gotta say, as long as I got it's not. But if the lie I have to tell is that I know the quarterback, consider it told.
Oh, yeah, sure. I do know who the quarterback is.
Right,
bro. Why you got this ominous voice on?
Write it down so I can read it exactly how you want me to say it. But also make sure you sign my check at the bottom because I need that money guaranteed.
10% in cash.
Right. I'm coming by a little bit later to get it. Have my money ready. But yeah, And also just write the script out. And I mean, honestly, I might get it tattooed on my arm so I never forget it. Whatever the lie is, I just have it readily on my wrist. What? Tell them what?
This lie got me paid. Let's see. You want to run a mock draft?
Got my daddy paid. Yo, they used to have the terrible commercials in Augusta with like the injury lawyers, and they would always say that. And I'm like, bro, y'all have to stop. But yes, I would definitely tattoo whatever lie you needed to on my wrist for the amount of money that you paid Myles Garrett to forget. Mike Green. Please take Mike Green. After that, I hope you make good decisions.
It's not letting me share the screen.
6%. Well, I mean, you should be able to. But for me,
there we go. All right, keep going. We here.
Mike Green.
Oh, so we're gonna do. Now this is I'm gonna do a solo draft. We do, as you know, I did the mock draft simulator. We just podding. This probably won't make the actual audio part, but we just podding right here. Sneaky. We here. So thank you for tuning in. We about to run a mock draft real quick, and then we're gonna turn on. I need to go see what Ant Edwards doing. So we are the Falcons. We're going 5 rounds. They're down by 12. I told you what was gonna happen. So see, Cam Ward, Abdul Carter, Travis Hunter. That three, I think, is the same three I've run for the last 2 weeks.
This
has happened.
I don't know if I want Travis at 3. I don't like that pick personally.
Travis is going in top 5. Travis going top 5 for sure.
I keep seeing Will Johnson to the Jaguars. Like, that's the thing. And it's like more of a thing every time. Ashton Genty to the Raiders makes sense. Mason Graham to the Jets makes even more sense. Ted to Carolina, that does help out Bryce a lot. Boy, that makes his life
it opens up the Black Cowboy.
Yeah. Excellent.
Xavier Leggett.
Yeah.
Shador, I see, and this has happened a lot. Shador goes to the Saints.
I think that's the right place for him to go.
That's a great place for him to go. Shout out to the Cowboys who need an edge, and to the 49ers who need a defense. They come in this mock draft after Will Campbell, because the Bears need O-line. They come in and grab those 2 edge players. The Dolphins take Kelvin Banks, and Tyler Warren has been solidified as the number 14 pick since week 5 of the college football season. They have said he is going to Indianapolis. And who am I to argue? It seems like that's what's about to happen. Right? So to me, this is a very, very realistic mock draft here.
Boy, New York gonna look back and hate that pick.
So we're gonna resume the draft. It's our turn. Do you want to try trades or no? You just want to pick?
I'll trade back. I'd trade. Hold on. Let me see that one again. 23 and 54.
You give up your third for a second, but you get a second next year. It's basically what it is to trade down.
I'm gonna say yes because what I would want is still probably around.
Now, you don't have to give up anything, and you trade down 5 spots. You get another pick, and you get Detroit second. If it were me, I would want to keep a pick. So I would probably do this one versus giving up my 3rd round pick. Yeah.
Hold on, what's the other one?
Oh, well, that's the trade. 15, 17, 81 for the Bengals.
Oh, yeah, sure.
But the thing is, why do they want to do that though?
I don't care. You can get that. Whatever you want, I'm still gonna have in my way.
So here, let's accept the trade then. They ended up drafting Shamar Stewart.
Fine. And y'all have Matthew Golden. Didn't want him either.
Matthew Golden to Arizona is interesting. Because
I think that's a good decision.
Him with Marvin Harrison
Jr. And Kyler. Yeah. You're starting to look almost very similar to no, I guess not really. I like that though.
So now, and then, remember, we still have 2 7th-round picks, but in the picks that matter, we now have 4 picks in the first 3 rounds, which is not bad in the first 4 rounds. So now we have essentially have picked up some stuff. You have another part where you could trade back again, but now you're trading towards the bottom of the draft,
Uh,
bottom of the first round, which I don't think we would do.
I'm
Although
not in
this
love
one
with
is
that.
interesting. Um, who's available? We're not going offense. We can look at offense, but we're not going offense. So we'll look at defense. You still have Derek Harmon, who is an interesting defensive tackle prospect. I would probably leave him alone, but he is 6'4", 313. And he plays the run very well. He's an
I'm taking
interesting player.
I'm taking Barron or Michael Williams in this space. I don't hate the Malachi Starks pick, but I would like to try Michael here at 17 since we got that other pick. I feel like I can I probably double up at edge, honestly.
I would probably do Michael Williams, Yari, or Jade Barron. I like Malachi Starks, but Jade Barron, to me,
I don't hate that pick.
solves all the needs we need in the secondary. He can play every position.
And we have the extra pick, so if we wanted to take a lower risk edge rusher, you could do that. I don't hate that.
Jahai Campbell is interesting because we need help at linebacker bad. As you can
Boy,
see, our linebackers couldn't cover nothing. But in this case,
they just be out there trying real hard.
in this case, we're gonna go with.
Boy, we got some of the best
Mike
practice players at linebacker. Boy,
ever.
they out there just crashing
We're gonna go
out.
with Michael Williams right here. Now let's see how the first round ended. We went Michael Williams. Jade Barron went right after that to Seattle. Derek Harmon and Nick Gordon went right after that. Eamon Yari. So in this case, we really didn't get hurt by that pick.
And then the Broncos putting that receiving core together, and Washington gets another edge rusher. Luther Burden to KC. That's not bad. And that's
great. That's great. I don't like this pick in terms of offensive tackle for the Eagles. They literally just signed their whole offensive line, but it does give them a chance to rebuild without rebuilding by drafting them now.
It's a good draft for the. Hold on, go back up to the top. To the very top. Abdul Carter and Jackson Dart as a draft is a win for the Cleveland Browns because you got the guy who you really believe in, and you were able to roll a dice on the young quarterback. If it works, it wasn't your first round pick. You didn't miss on the guy who
you traded down. You got more stuff too. What did they get? Yeah, they got the 127. So
that's a win as a draft in my book all day.
So running this again, you see a run on defense. Cornerback, edge, safety, edge, linebacker, guard, D tackle, running back, D tackle. In this case,
Kenneth Grant.
The easy person you draft here has got to be Kenneth Grant. That shores up your defensive line. You could pair him next to Rukororo. You could pair him next to Dorless. You can now go multiple fronts. Drafting Kenneth Grant here allows you to get back to the Ryan
You
Nielsen
look like
days.
you care. You look like you have. We've asked you to try to fix this. You've made 2 really good adult decisions, and you got us an extra pick out of it. I'm happy, even if it
Grant
don't work.
In the second
I'm
round
not
is
mad.
theft. The thing is, Grant falls to the second round in every mock draft.
Right,
every mock draft he's there. I don't know why, but he's there. So we get Grant, and then we go back to the results.
I'm not against the defensive lineman from South Carolina either.
He goes early. TJ Sanders, he goes to San Francisco ahead of us in this mock draft. He's good though, but he's also lighter. He's like 285, 290. Kenneth Grant is 330.
And Grant's been in that draft. He's been there almost every time for me.
Yep. Yeah. So then we resumed the draft. So now, because we got the number 81 pick, we traded down. We can probably look
I
at a
would like
cornerback here.
I would like to see best available again. This is the one that let's see what we do. I mean,
No, not doing that.
yeah.
Oh, best available safety, linebacker, D tackle. We don't need an edge rusher. Another safety, Lathan Ransom. You could probably reach at linebacker and get let's go defense. You could probably reach at linebacker and get nope, he's not there anymore. You can't reach at linebacker. A dude from California, from Cal. That was super good. I like Josh Farmer here. I don't know if I'll double up on edge here because I don't really believe in any of these guys. Josiah Stewart is 6'1".
I would like to
all of those
take
things.
Jack Sawyer late. If he's still around, I'd take him every time.
Oh, Jack Sawyer. What is late?
Yeah.
What is late? Like 5th round?
Yes, that last pick, he's gonna be available.
Jack Sawyer? Oh, at 118. 118,
Yep.
Yeah. At this point, you need a corner though.
What's the size on Winston?
6'2", 6'1", 6'2", 215. He was the best run support defenders in all of college football. I mean, he's a strong safety through and through. The thing is, as strong safety through and through, we need you to be more multiple. So that means you'll be traded. You'll be in and out of the You'll be in and out of the rotation. I mean, D tackle. Oh, how I also drafted, even with trades, is I looked at who we interviewed, right? Who we met with, who came to the headquarters. This dude, Omar Norman Lott, has been to the headquarters twice.
6'2", 291.
He reminds me of Grady Jarrett. He's a bigger Grady Jarrett. He's like they called him a penetrating pause if necessary.
Hey,
one technique.
Yo, my boy.
No, you said what's the size on Winston is what you said earlier, and I let that rock.
I said what's the height on Winston? The height.
You did not. You did not. It is recorded. You did not.
Wow. 35, 45, 55 sold by the co-host, ladies and gentlemen.
So what would you do here?
This one's on you. I got the last
one. 3rd round. We need what we got on offense looking like.
And I'm telling you, I'm taking Jack Sawyer in the last pick.
So you going edge? I don't want to go Sawyer. I would rather go Smile Munden, to be honest, because he's a good. Well, I'm gonna go here. We're gonna go D tackle. Double up on D tackle.
Right, D tackle, D in, D tackle, D tackle. Where my boy at? Jack Sawyer right there.
Now, they've interviewed and they really like Q Robinson. But the thing is, he has 0 production in college.
Not playing that.
Nothing.
Not playing that. That's the reason I want Jack Sawyer.
Ismail Munden is gone. So at that point, yeah. Oh, they drafted Savion Jones. That's another guy. So you going Jack Sawyer here.
Ain't bad.
So that's our draft. Edge, D tackle, edge. With all of the signings from the cornerbacks, I could see that happening. I can see that happening.
And it lets me know you're intentional about fixing the D line. Which
the only thing that bothers me about that is we did not address the linebacker. We have not addressed the linebacker situation adequately in 3 years.
Yeah, but we doubling down on fixing the defensive line where we lost Grady and we just never had an edge rusher. Something gonna be a problem. This is us doing the best. But
I just want to see. I'm gonna run one where we don't pick and we just see who they say we get. Mike Green. There it is.
Man, take Mike Green, bro. Just take him. Just take him. Make the safe pick. Travis Hunter at 3 seems like such a stretch. I hope I'm not wrong about that.
You don't want to be wrong about that? You want him to be bad?
No, I don't want to sound like a fool is what I'm trying to say. But it just don't give me this is the right pick feeling like it should. Ultimately, I hope that he's good.
It's hard for you to. I see why you said it's hard for you to pick Travis Hunter or pick any player that doesn't have a defined position at 3.
Right.
But you could also say the same thing about Jalen Walker, though. Jalen Walker don't have no defined position on defense.
He's for sure a defense. I just got to find the right space for him on defense. Travis,
you say that with Travis too. Good corner. He's probably he's a top 2 corner of the draft. And that's why he's going number 3 because he's cornerback. He's listed at cornerback. He's really viewed as the top corner in the draft.
I think so too. I think I just also, which is a part of it, I just don't want to deal with trying to get him on the field for offense and defense. That seems like a fight that I don't want to have.
Yeah.
Because what I want and what you want probably ain't gonna be the same thing. I might need you on defense more just because we need more defensive help, but you want to do both. That's a fight.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, my bad, Doc. You about to lie to us?
Yeah, that's my only thing with that is I think that Shedeur is probably a really good cornerback. Full stop.
Not Shedeur. Travis,
excuse me. Yes, that's what I mean. I think the Travis is a good cornerback. I just don't want to have to be trying to get him offensive touches when I might need a lot more help on defense.
Yeah. But, ladies and gentlemen, that's it. It's been an hour.
That's all we got.
We're done.
Adios, mi amigos. Keep the Falcons draft pick in prayer. Keep the Atlanta Hawks. Thank the Lord that things have looked a little bit better for us. Draft picks in your prayers. We need something good around here other than my 2024 men's basketball champion Florida Gators. That's all I got.
That man trashed men's basketball for 3 years.
I still hate it. But I love being a champion. Let me tell you that much. Same way I feel about baseball, a little bit less. But still, I don't care about y'all team. I care about my team. Go Bravos.
All right, y'all. See y'all Friday, possibly. We're gonna react to this Falcons draft.
And we may react if another person gets fired in Atlanta at any team.
Full stop. We out of here. Peace.
People be getting fired.
Peace. Oh, I gotta end it. All right, end stream.